How's the lockdown, guys? Are you going crazy yet? I cleaned the house like 3 times already this week, and it's just Friday. But what can we do to not go mad at home? Okay, this is a global situation, right? We all know what we need to do. I agree, we need to stay at home to beat the enemy, but still, this can be a little bit mental sometimes. Of course, there was a much worse time than this when we just have to stay home inside central heating, water, food, and with our loved ones. The problem is that we have more time now, but we have to spend it in the same place. I'm not worried about not going to the pub or concerts. I've never been social anyway. Lockdown is my everyday life. Okay, I'm just kidding. A little. Obviously, I work with people in the gym where we have almost 6,000 members. But when I go home, the last thing I want to see is one more face. And if you are in customer service, you know what I'm talking about. I don't miss partying at all. When you're over 30, the hangover just lasts like for 5 days, and it's like Friday again. No thanks, I can't do this anymore. But I don't know what would I do if I was 20 or a kid, staying at home with my parents 24/7. Man, that's gonna be tough. I'll feel for you. Anyway, all jokes aside, here's 10 things you can do at home and not going nuts. Number 1, do something creative. Write a blog, do a video series about the situation and how you feel, draw something, record a rap album. It doesn't matter what you do or how good you are. The importance of this reel is to let your mind fly and do something which you never done before. This also means you have to use tools you never used before. For example, if you never wrote anything in your life, you will see how hard to put your thoughts into sentences. Or if you hate to see yourself in the camera, you can practice and see which one is your good or your bad side. This also means you have to use technologies you never used before, editing, writing tools, stuff like this. Tip number 2, throw out what you don't need. If you were hoarding on clothes in the last couple of years, your wardrobe must be full anyway. Throw out what you don't use, and don't tell me you wear everything what you in your closet. Now, not everyone has to dress like a homeless like me, but you can easily get away with 30 pieces of clothing, including underwears. Okay, if you're a beginner, you can start off with 40. Tip number 3, learn something new. I know it's a cliche, but unfortunately, it still applies. But most of the time they tell you, it doesn't matter what, just learn something new, which is just stupid. We learn new things every day. Listening to the news, friends texting us about the newest memes. The last thing you want to do is to learn something meaningless data, which you forget by dinner time. I want you to dedicate yourself on 4 very specific topics. Finance, the human body, training and nutrition, the human mind, psychology, and economics. These 4 subjects are extremely important to not put yourself into debt, avoid diseases, what correlates to bad lifestyle choices, to be controlled and not to be controlled, and to know where your goods are coming from. Economic analysis also can be applied to businesses, healthcare, education, environment, and politics. Spend time to study your body, your mind, and your surroundings. Tip number 4, kill bad habits. As you might be out of job now, welcome to the club. Or in best case scenario, you're working from home, so you don't have to wake up. Or you don't have to wake up in time to go to work. You can stop drinking coffee, for example. Hey, but coach, I cannot start today without coffee. Yes, you can. It's just a habit, and you can break it. First, just don't drink it right away, but an hour later than usual, then 2 hours, and so on. In a week time, you won't need it anymore to be productive. This is just an example. Don't kill me with your look. Stress eating, bored eating, I talked about it. Time to stop it. It's bad for you. Quit smoking, stop wasting time on social media, change your friends, whatever is holding you back, you exactly know what it is. This is the perfect time to do something good for yourself. Tip number 5, create new habits. I think habits are important in our life as long as we are not totally attached to them, and then they are useful. For example, you have time to exercise, put it in your schedule, morning, midday, afternoon, doesn't matter, just start doing it. Implement more vegetables into your diet or open a savings account. Small things adds up in years. Either they're bad or good. Create good small things that can help you in the long run. Tip number 6, start a diary. 2 diaries particularly. One where you track your calories and another one where you log your workouts. You think you know how much calorie you consume, but you don't until you start putting into a calorie counter. These apps are easy to use and actually pretty accurate if you set up a realistic goal. I use MyFitnessPal to track my and my clients' calories. The best training plans are based on the principle of progressive overload. It basically means that you have to be better in some aspect each time you train. Do more push-ups every week, run a little faster, reach a little farther. Track your progress in a notebook or an application. You'll be surprised how far you can get in a month. Tip number 7, practice meditation. Meditation has a bad reputation and can throw people off when I mention it, but meditation doesn't have to be sitting on a yoga mat surrounded with candles. You can meditate basically anywhere and anyway if you can switch your mind off and focus on the nothingness. It's harder than it sounds and will take time to master it, so start with 5 minutes and build it up. You will see the world from another perspective. Tip number 8, belly breathing. This is kind of connected to the meditation. Diaphragm breathing is the easiest way to calm yourself down and step into a parasympathetic state. This is your rest switch. It slows the heart rate, increases intestinal and gland activity, all the good stuff. Belly breathing should be a staple in everybody's arsenal, especially athletes and trainees in general, for fast recovery after and between workouts. I wrote about belly breathing in my blogs, link in the description below the like button. Tip number 9, redesign your space. I highly recommend, if you work from home, to have a separate place where you work. It will make your job more productive if you have at least a corner where you can go and be in work mode. I also recommend doing the same for workouts. As we stuck in our homes, we have to work inside. For a lot of people, the gym is an escape, a place where we can be alone and switch off for an hour to reduce stress, improve performance, and get a fitter body. Find a space where you can lay down on your mat. It doesn't have to be big, but something where you separate yourself from the world. You might have to move some furniture around and do some thinking, but it's worth it. The lockdown can take up months. Better to have a fresh place. And hey, who knows, you might get lucky too. I found 5 pounds under the sofa. Tip number 10, set new goals. I think this is the best one you can do right now. Reflect where you are now and where you want to be. Once you got the start and the end, lay down how to get there. I can help with fitness goals. I want to be able to do a push-up. That's the goal. I cannot do a single push-up. That's where I'm at now. I will train my shoulders, my chest, my tricep to get stronger upper body, and I have to practice plank positions for more stability. That's the road to get there. You can do this with work, relationship, or breaking habits. Once you start writing things down, even if it's just loosely, they'll become more achievable and more likely you go into details and stick to them. That's how I work with my clients. They tell me what they want to accomplish. We come up with the plan and the time frame, and I make sure to progress towards to the end goal with mini goals along the way. It works like magic. Hey, I hope this helps. I'm also curious, what do you do with your free time? Maybe we can add something to this list. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Train complete. Train complete.